Dr. Collier, good morning.
Good morning, Rickey, Smiley. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. It's time for your coronavirus update, and boy, do we have some good information for you. 6.83 million cases now. We're at 199,000 deaths. Of those deaths, Rickey, 3 out of 4 people that are less than age 21 are black or Hispanic. So understand this is directly affecting, listeners of the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. But just remember, these are young people. These are college age, high school students, etc. 3 out of 4. Black or Hispanic. So be aware that this is still out there and still a problem. The CDC updated their website to state that droplets and airborne particles can remain suspended in the air from just a person talking or breathing and travel greater than 6 feet, and that these can infect individuals. So we've been talking about this for a few months, but now they're finally acknowledging that, saying it's just respiratory droplets. It doesn't have to be a person coughing or sneezing or somebody singing at choir rehearsal. It's just suspended in the air from routine breathing in and out. And the most common area, we talked about this previously as well, restaurants where people are there's not good ventilation, and that it's just floating in the air and makes you susceptible to infection. I have to say, Rickey, I'm guilty of going to a restaurant this weekend, and they actually had hookahs. This was some kind of weird hybrid, a restaurant club. And let me tell you, every time somebody would exhale, it was a cloud of smoke, and it was basically just a cloud of coronavirus. So we had to end our meal and get out of there because it just looked like a hybrid of infection. And there was, they were trying to socially distance the customers. Everybody's table was 6 feet apart, but the hookah smoke was just literally floating from one table to another in a perfect aerosolized cloud of coronavirus. So people, under the best of circumstances, do not use a hookah. That is just because there's already commingling of inhalation particles when you use a hookah. And, but just in this coronavirus environment, just don't do it. It's just not something that we recommend. And one other thing we want to reiterate is testing. The CDC does not recommend that people have a repeat test after they've tested positive. 14 days out, they should be clear to return to work. But I'm having a lot of people and a lot of major employers that will not let people return to work unless they have a negative test. And we've stated that some people's tests will remain positive even though they don't have disease state. But 14 days out, they are clear and should be able to return to work. So there are economic consequences because employers are now no longer paying people. A lot of them are bucking at paying people to stay out, for more than 14. They're not even paying for the 14 days now. But if you say, okay, you need to stay out another 14 days, that's basically 1 month of pay with no work. And that makes really substantial consequences on small businesses. But even the larger businesses now don't want to follow up with that.
All right, Dr. Collier, I want to ask you, now let's talk about those vitamins right quick. How can people, and one question I had, if you have antibodies, meaning that you already had coronavirus and you're showing antibodies, most people want to know, can you catch it again?
No, there have been no documented cases of that. There's been some discussion about it and possible, but for regular people, again, whose immune systems are intact, if you're immune compromised in some way, you might be susceptible, but they may have 1 or 2 cases in which that has happened. But just look at the statistics. If people were able to get reinfected, these numbers would be 10 times what they are now, just from exponential growth from being exposed. So, that's not the way the science of immunology works, and nothing has changed about that. Our body will make antibodies and protect us. That's how we have survived, as long as we have survived during, new infective outbreaks like the Spanish flu and the regular flu, etc. So, no, you should have protection. And that the question is how long it will last. And, the theory is from as short as 2 years to as long as lifetime. So we're still finding this out in real time. But definitely, if you had it and you test positive for antibodies, you ought to be safe until a new vaccine is created and has been proven safe and effective. So those are the criteria for taking the vaccine shot. However, the new flu shot, you need to go get right now. It's available in most pharmacies, places like Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, etc. Go get the flu shot now before the crowds start, because we are in the flu season, and we're also in the allergy season, ragweed season. So you get excess mucus in your respiratory tract that makes you more susceptible to any kind of infection.
Right. Dr. Collier, let everybody know real quick what kind of vitamins they need to be taking every single day.
Okay. Everybody needs to take vitamin D at a dose of 5,000 international units. Everybody needs to be taking zinc at 30 to 50 milligrams per day. Everybody needs to be taking vitamin C at 1,000 milligrams per day. That's optimally boosting your immune system to protect you from viral, bacterial, and fungal infections. Again, heavily endorsed by the CDC and the World Health Authority. So that lets you know that this is a real science and that have multiple studies that show effectiveness for those three things as the best. So avoid closed spaces, close contact, crowded places like restaurants. Wash your hands, wear your mask, watch your distance. Reach me on all social media at Ask Dr. MJ. And remember, the opinions expressed are those of Dr. MJ Collier, not those of the Rickey Smiley Morning Show or its radio affiliates. Go to my website, lipodrops.com, and find out everything you need to know about boosting your immune system and protecting yourself from the coronavirus.
Dr. Collier said, y'all ain't cutting me off today. Dr. Collier, appreciate you, man.
Okay, appreciate you, Rickey Smiley.